Good afternoon, Joelle Rae. Welcome on VH Berries.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am extremely grateful because you're in the midst of patchworking history and artistry as you diligently search for reverberations in the East Midlands limestone. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. Yeah, I've had a busy morning of self-taping. But yeah, really, really good. Thank you. How are you?
I am also doing good, and the county of Derbyshire is the primary home for those limestone in
It's
England.
actually it's Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire. But you know what? There's Lincolnshire, there's Nottinghamshire, there's Derbyshire, so there's so many shires in the Midlands.
Absolutely, Joelle Rae. They are many of them, and they have passed on their distinctive virtues to you, making your acting solid and volcanic.
Thank you.
And Joelle Rae, it is time to step in the EMR, East Midlands Railways, with your favorite book in hands, because they are 150 miles away and 4 hours from on your way to Notting Hill to meet Santa Claus for Christmas.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. It's funny because I am from the Midlands, I'm from Lincolnshire. I now live in London. I used to live in Chelsea, so I used to live very close to Notting Hill. And then the film that I think you're referring to, Christmas in Notting Hill, we actually filmed that even further away in Dublin. So we filmed that in Ireland. We only had 2 days filming in Notting Hill in the end. So yeah, all over the shop.
It was all over the shot, Joelle Rae, and I would love to discuss about that feature film called Christmas at Notting Hill. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so it's a Hallmark Christmas movie. So it's if you need to feel good and you just want some Christmas spirit and you want a bit of romance, then it's definitely a really heartfelt feel good movie. I was lucky enough to work with a brilliant team. The writing is incredible. So yeah, so grateful for that whole experience. I learned a lot. It was my first job playing like a supporting lead as well. So yeah, I feel like I took so much away from that experience and then had kind of a career pivot when it came out. So it came out last Christmas. And then since then I've done some really completely different jobs like horror and fantasy. So it's been a roller coaster for sure.
It is a roller coaster, Joelle Rae, and that feature film actually starts with Lizzie and Georgia, with multiple dialogues, walking side by side on the street or in the open air market. But in both situations, you are the one setting the walking speed.
I didn't even realize that, am I? I'm a really fast walker. I'm so annoying to walk with. I power ahead and leave anybody that I'm with behind. I didn't even realize that I'm the one setting the pace. Whoops.
If I understood correctly, Joelle Rae, you are a fast walker, which is the reason why at some point they decided to put you on a London bus.
Yeah, so that part was actually filmed in London. That was a great day. We literally were just for an entire day on an open air like London tour bus, just going around. Like I'd lived in London for like 2 years by this point, so we were just going around looking at all the sites, like pointing out Big Ben, and I was basically Lizzie is showing Georgia, her sister, who's visited London from the States, from America. And she's kind of showing her all the sites, so like showing her the city that she now lives in. So they're both American characters, but Lizzie's lived in London for a couple of years. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Easy day's work.
Easy day's work on the top of that London bus. And before we jump into that extraordinary scenes, I would love to give some context. Can you tell us about the story behind Lizzie and Georgia?
So I'm actually really close to Alex, who wrote Christmas in Notting Hill. And I think a lot of Alex loves football, and there's kind of essentially what happens is Georgia comes to visit her sister Lizzie in London, and without giving too much away, she meets a footballer. And maybe they fall in love, maybe it's happy ever after, maybe it's not. And yeah, Lizzie is kind of like her hype man for the whole movie, while also kind of going through her own experiences of romance and love with her own partner, and trying to figure that out while trying to encourage her sister to follow her heart and also follow her career goals, which is also such an important thing for people. So yeah, there's elements of romance in there. If you like football, it's great. If you like London, it's great. Really, really fun film.
If you like London, this is the perfect feature film, Joelle Rae. And as you already know, my favorite scene is the one happening on the London Transport Sightseeing Tour, and adorning Georgia, Michael, and Lizzie Bright's heads. Whimsical hats, emblazoned with the Union Jack.
Yeah, those hats were fun. Those hats were very fun. I should have taken one home, really, shouldn't I? Would it be a nice little memento?
It would be, Joelle Rae, a nice momentum and a nice piece of furniture to carry around. And in this particular scene, I never have seen a happier human being in my life.
That's good. That's good. I feel like the whole essence of Lizzie's character is she is just a good energy. She's a positive girly. She's good vibes to be around. So I'm glad that came across.
Absolutely, Joelle Rae, it came across the screen because we can feel the happiness. And I am actually very curious about the behind the scenes of that particular London tour. Can you tell us a little bit more about that specific afternoon?
Well, it was, now I filmed it nearly 2 years ago now, because it was at the beginning of 2023 that we actually filmed that. So the kind of setup was, it was us three like at the front of the bus, and then we have the entire crew. We must have looked so funny to anybody in like sky-rise buildings driving past, because we had like an entire camera crew. There's actually a video on my Instagram. One of my most recent Instagram posts is a little BTS video of it. So it's just me, the character Michael and Georgia at the front of the bus with the whole camera crew behind. I can't even remember. I'm trying to envision in my mind what the scene looks like, and I've not seen the film for so long I can't actually even remember what the scene looks like in my head. But yeah, it was half the bus was crew, the other half was us at the front, the cast.
Furthermore, Joelle Rae, the cast, was also on the top of that London bus, and you were actually also cheering with a croissant and a pain au raisin.
We were. Oh, I forgot about them. And I wanted to eat it and I couldn't. I was really upset. Because obviously when you have food, you'll realize this. I don't know. I'm sure you already know this, but when you're working with food, if you watch a lot of scenes where people are eating, they do a lot of kind of chopping, pretending to eat, or like talking over chopping their food. So like I was kind of waving the croissant about. I might have taken a bite. I can't remember. I don't think I could eat it. I think I was just holding it because continuity wise, if I take a bite out of that croissant, I have to know the specific time that I took the bite out of it, and then we have to have replacement croissants for me to take the same bite out of it for each of the shots. So yeah, I'm such a foodie, so I always get really upset when I'm working with food because there's this delicious food a lot of the time that I can't eat. Or I can only have a really tiny amount of it, or you have a tiny amount and then you have to keep doing it, and then by the end of it, you're sick of eating the same thing over and over again.
As a matter of fact, Joelle Rae, I think that the croissant and the pain au raisin was not eaten during the scenes because the director wanted it at the end.
Possibly. She maybe sneaked them away and had a little feast.
Moreover, in that particular feature film, you are singing a song from David Archuleta called Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a moment that may have inspired your upcoming song called Odio le Zanzar.
Oh. Listen, Sarah. I mean, I'm awful at singing, but we can pretend that I can make a song called Audio Listen, Sarah. So that, for context on that, I've just been in Italy filming something else, and me and the rest of the cast, we were trying to learn Italian, and we had a brilliant makeup team which helped us so much with it. And the main thing that I picked up was Odio le zanzara, which is I hate mosquitoes in Italian. I can try and sing it, but we'd probably deafen quite a few people. But yeah, the David Archuleta song, so for context, we filmed in April. We filmed not at Christmas time, basically. So in order to learn, we had to learn a dance for this song, and we had to like learn the lyrics for it. And I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, I'm not a musical theatre girly. Wish I was, but unfortunately not. And yeah, we had to learn the lyrics and the dance for this movie. So by the end of learning that dance, I literally couldn't listen to that song anymore. If you played it now, I'd probably have a little head bop to it, but while we were filming, I listened to it on repeat so much to try and get it in my head. And it came on in a cafe I was at the other day, and I was like, this is bringing back so many memories of filming.
Absolutely, Joelle Rae, this song is bringing a lot of great memories from that time, and we cannot make a great song without talking about Zanzare. The same way, there is no custard without cracking eggs to obtain the yolks.
Of course.
I am also referring with that eggs scene to a particular moment in which you were baking. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
That is one of my favorite scenes. And I think it's because nothing is really said. Like the subcontext for that scene means so much more than the words, because essentially what happens within this scene is, without giving too much away, my character and Sarah's character, we don't have a mother figure in our life, and we're baking with Lizzie's partner's mum. And it's this kind of beautiful moment of connection between Lizzie and her partner's mother as they're like cooking together. And you just see Sarah's character, Georgia, kind of watching and taking in what's going on. And it's just this really like motherly, nurturing moment between the two characters. And it's literally just, as you said, cracking an egg into a bowl and like helping each other out. And it's just such a warm, beautiful scene. And I think it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Yeah.
That baking scene, Joelle Rae, is your favorite one. And I would love to talk about that upcoming project that you filmed in Rome, in which you didn't only encountered a zanzara, which would have been fine, but multiple zanzare, because this is plural.
I'm so bad at Italian. Zanzara. We need to get one of the Italian crew members here to correct me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to bring back one member of the Italian crew, and I would love to know more about that project that is called I Am Your Host.
Yeah, so that was probably the most challenging but most rewarding job yet. It's so funny because I shaved off my hair right before Christmas in Notting Hill came out. So the movie we were just talking about, I've wanted to shave my hair off for a really long time, like for years and years and years. And right before Christmas in Notting Hill came out, I was like, I just need to, like, I want to look different to how I look in this movie. It's about to come out. I really want to have a little bit of a pivot and like kind of change my direction a little bit in terms of my casting. So I shaved off my hair, and then this job came along where they were specifically looking for an actor with like a shaved head or a short hairstyle. So yeah, that was firstly, like, it felt like it was really aligned with who I kind of was at that point in time and like am at the moment. So it was really nice to go from doing something so kind of heartfelt and warming as Christmas in Notting Hill and like the kind of style of Hallmark movies to then such a pivot into the horror genre, which is something that I've never dabbled in before. And this movie is graphic and it's dark, and it was a real emotional challenge to film for all of us. But I'm really proud of it, and I think we all are. And I'm really excited for it to come out and for kind of the versatility to be shown from the difference between Christmas in Notting Hill to I'm Your Host, because it's a big difference.
There is a major contrast between those two projects, and as of now, the feature film I Am Your Host is a mystery for me, and I would love to know more about that upcoming character named Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa. Again, without giving too much away, essentially it centers around 4 friends. We don't know, when you meet the friends, you'll kind of have a feeling of like, why are these people all spending time with each other? And they all have their own ulterior motives, and they all have a darkness within them, which isn't apparent at first. Some of them more than others. Personally, I feel that Melissa is quite a likable character up until a certain point. And these friends, essentially, they're having a great time with each other until something goes horribly wrong, something awful happens to them, and they are pushed to reveal their deepest, darkest secrets. And it's horrific. And it's going to be one of those where you have to kind of hide behind a pillow. I've already pre-warned my mum that she's gonna, she won't be able to watch it because it gets dark. We had an amazing director. DW is brilliant, and his mind is just so creative. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. If you like horror, it's great.
This is a great movie if we like horror, and the director may have an interest in the increased sales of pillow and pillowcases.
Yeah, honestly, before it comes out, let's get some shares in pillow investment. Because everybody's going to need a pillow to hide behind, especially my mum. My mum's going to need about 10.
Absolutely, Joelle Rae. Everyone will need a pillow, not only to watch the movie, but it could also help to defend ourselves from the zanzare. And to come back to the filming in Rome, what were your most memorable moments?
Oh, we have so many. Oh, it was the most fun. It was, I think, because on set, we had to get to really, really dark places. I've never personally had to put myself into a state of genuine, terrified fear. My character, essentially, she's not okay. None of them are. And then, so when we kind of had our downtime, I think we were all just in hysterics for so much of it. And there was one day, I find this so much more funny than what it's probably actually going to be. But there was one day where we were on a mission to get one of the cast. They needed to buy extra pants, right? So we knew that we would be able to wash stuff at the hotel, but people packed fly. So we needed to go and stock up on some pants. And that was our entire mission of the day. We needed to find underwear. And obviously there's so many tourist shops in Rome. We were looking for a Uniqlo or some kind of just clothing store. And we walked past a tourist shop and they just had this underwear that says, "I love my husband" on it. And I was like, guys, look, let's get those. And I've not laughed that much. I don't know why I found it so funny. It's because we were on this mission to get pants. And these pants just said, "I love my husband." And I just found them so funny to the point that I then went, we went and got actual proper pants after that. But I loved them so much that I went back on my own and I bought these "I love my husband" pants as a memory. That's probably my funniest moment. I don't know if it was everybody else's, but it has those pants have a very warm place in my heart.
Absolutely. Joelle Rae, you didn't left any more pens for the tourist, but in that case, you were also a tourist.
Exactly.
And furthermore, as of now, you are fine with the zanzare because their activities decreases in colder climate, especially during winter in England. And this is something that they didn't teach you on the bench of the television workshop.
Yes, no, TV workshop. Yeah. Well, I mean, firstly, no more Zanzara in England. And honestly, at the beginning, when we first got to Rome, there was so many mosquitoes. That's why we learned how to say it. We just go to the makeup team, we'd be like, Zanzara, Zanzara, if we've been bitten by a mosquito. Everybody thought we were insane. But yeah, I've not had mosquito bites since I've been home. And yeah, TV workshop. That place also, that has a special place in my heart, maybe even more than the I Love My Husband pants, because that's where I trained in Nottingham and I wouldn't be where I am without that place. So no mosquitoes there though. No mosquitoes at TV workshop.
They were absolutely no mosquito at the television workshop. And what were the biggest lessons that you learned on that 9 Cranbrook Street at the unit number 2?
I don't even know if that's still the address or if I think the address that I started there when it was at Stony Street and then it changed to another place. And so I don't even know where the address is now. But I feel like the main thing, and I noticed this with my other like TV workshop friends, I think the main thing that it taught me was to steer clear of entitlement and to put the work in, man, to put the work in, because so essentially it acts as like a training facility while also acting as an agent. So I was lucky enough to get my first job through TV workshop. So it was kind of a different route to like the drama school route. And you wouldn't get anywhere near as many auditions maybe as you would get with an agent. So every single audition you got, it was like, this could be my break, man. This could be it. And I'm still very far away from where I want to get, but I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I've kind of had. And I was so lucky to have got my first job through television workshop and then sign with an agency. And one thing that I think everybody that's kind of gone there can say that it teaches you that you cannot be lazy. You have to put the work in and you have to take a step back from your ego. I think you're constantly reminded, no matter what big jobs you've done, like there are some actors in there that were doing things like, you know, Bella Ramsey, she's brilliant. She did Game of Thrones when she was so young. And as soon as she takes a step into workshop, it's like we're all equal. Like nobody's ego gets the better of them. You could be doing this amazing job, but in workshop, you're just an actor acting with other brilliant actors. And it's just this kind of sense of beautiful community with really like-minded people that I'm so, so grateful for sure.
Absolutely, Joelle Rae. And when I am listening to your voice, I feel that from the very beginning, they were not a plan B.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I started acting at just like local theatre groups when I was probably like 11 or 12. And it's quite a nice story, actually. My mum's got the most beautiful soul ever. She always buys a big issue and she'll always like carry around Mars bars to give to like big issue vendors. And she bought a big issue and she saw this ad for the television workshop in the big issue. And she was like, look, it's in Nottingham. I'm from Lincolnshire. So they're like, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. She was like, let's just audition for it. And if you get in, I can take you. We can go every week. It's worth trying. Like we were both being realistic. We were like, probably not going to get in. Let's be honest. But she was like, let's go for it. Let's apply. Let's go for an audition. And I think when I got in, she was a little bit like, what have I done? Because I now have to commit every single week of my life to this. Like I was about 14 at the time. And I'm so grateful to my mum and dad, man, because without them, oh my God, I wouldn't have been able to go. Like they took me, my mum took me there every single Saturday till I was 16. And then after that, I used to get the train there from college. And then they used to pick me up at like 9:30 at night, my mum and my dad, and drive an hour and a half there, hour and a half back, literally just an hour and a half to pick me up, hour and a half back, in order for me to go to this place that like I loved so much. And they could see how happy that it made me. And for me, I think acting was always a as you say, there was no plan B. It was always, I'm going to do it. I just don't know exactly how. So if it was like, okay, I'm at the TV workshop now. If I don't get a job by the time I'm 21, lucky enough, I started my first professional acting job at 18. But in my head, I was like, right, okay, if I get to 21 and I'm still at TV workshop and I leave TV workshop going to the alumni and I've not got an acting job yet and I've not got an agent, then fine, I'll go to drama school and then I'll get an agent through that. And it was always a matter of, I will get there. I'm going to do it. I didn't know which kind of course. So yeah, I was really lucky to get a job called Get Even, which so grateful for the kind of connections that I had through that, because I then signed with my agent and with my management over in LA. So the TV workshop, I have like my entire career so far to owe, because each of the stepping stones have all come from that first big issue that my mum bought and said, shall we just try it and see what happens? And here I am.
It all started from the television workshop, and it helped you to have that first role in Get Even, in which you were playing the character of Jemima.
Jemima, yeah.
That name literally means day to day. And this is a motto that you never left since then.
Yeah, I guess it's very much like live every day as it comes, be as present as possible. I think this is a very turbulent industry, and it's really easy to forget to practice gratitude when things are kind of going well. And that's something that I try very much to embody and always remember, like at the times where you are working, it's important to be grateful, because the times where you're not working, all you want to do is to be working. And then the times where you're not working, it's important to be grateful because you get opportunity to do self-tapes or audition and still create in different ways. And you have so much free time that, when you are working, you crave. So yeah, living every day as it comes and being grateful for every single part of the process, no matter how things feel like they're going at that moment in time. I think there's always definitely a level of gratitude that can be had.
In conclusion, during all the time in which you're not working, you will be always thinking about that Union Jack hat that you wore on the top of that bus in London. Thank you very much, Joelle Rae.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Lovely to chat to you, Victor.